The rally began peacefully, with the streets of Barcelona awash in a sea of protesters, from the waterfront to the city's landmark Sagrada Familia church. Many carried Catalan flags and banners, branded with slogans such as "Sit and Talk" and "Freedom for Political Prisoners." Pro-independence groups had called for a peaceful march to demand the release of 9 separatist leaders found guilty of sedition. They were imprisoned by the Supreme Court on October 14th. The move triggered a wave of anti-Madrid demonstrations, some marred by heavy violence. Spain's main parties have consistently rejected any moves towards Catalan independence. Protesters accuse Madrid of criminalizing dissent.
It's time for the state to find a solution, because it seems that this has no end, and we are always at the same point. We've come here because we are fed up with so much repression that we have suffered from the state.
The government in Madrid doesn't want to listen to us or sit down and talk, which is what we want. We have always defended nonviolence. What is happening in Barcelona is not a reflection of us. We separatists are not violent. We want our country. We want to be free. But when night fell, violence flared up again. Several hundred protesters surrounded police headquarters, hurling bottles, paintballs, and other objects at officers in riot gear. Police, backed by riot vans, charged the demonstrators to disperse them.
All right, let's bring in journalist Stephen Burgen. He joins us now from Barcelona. Hello to you, Stephen. Now, the vast majority of Catalan pro-independence supporters were peaceful. We saw those numbers at the rally. What exactly happened to spark that violence, and who was behind it?
Well, what's happened is, apart from a couple of days of quiet that we've had, is what's happened from the start is we have a peaceful demonstration of a very large number of people. And then as it disperses, smaller organized groups who are, despite what your person in the interview said, are pro-independence in the majority, then set off usually to the headquarters of the police, which is where they were last night, the Spanish police, and stage a separate demonstration and start throwing things at the police and taunting them and so on. And last night was a particularly large number, about 10,000 people outside the headquarters. And you can see in your video what happened.
Now, later today, we're going to see anti-separatist rallies. What can we expect there?
Well, probably, I'm not sure how large it would be. There was, a couple of years ago, there was one that was nearly 1 million people. This is supported by most of the main national political parties, not the Catalan regional parties, and various other non-political groups. What we'll see is, these are people who are against separation from Spain. Unfortunately, the people who make the most noise on this particular march tend to be Spanish nationalists. So we have Catalan nationalists on the one hand and Spanish nationalists on the other, whereas there are a lot of people in the middle who, don't want to wave either flag.
Well, with Spain being so divided, do you see any path forward for the independence movement at this point?
Not at the moment, because certainly not before November 10th, when there is a general election. And, Catalonia is part of campaigning fodder for the election. After that, first of all, we'll have to see who wins. And that is very open to question at the moment. And if the socialist leader, Pedro Sanchez, can form a government, then I imagine that he will attempt to start some talks. If, on the other hand, and this is increasingly likely, there's a right-wing coalition, they will not even consider having talks about independence, because they regard the Spain as the entirety of Spain as a state as something virtually sacred, and they wouldn't countenance even starting talks.
All right, journalist Stephen Burgen in Barcelona, thank you very much.
Thank you.